Indianapolis Colts versus Jacksonville Jaguars pregame show coming at you right now.
There's no better way to get better at football than playing football. So if you want to...
Taylor's going to finish it! I've always been confident in my abilities. I think, I'm a guy that can go out there, and I always believe in myself that I'm going to get open and make the play if they throw me the ball.
The third. Ryan, end zone shot for Pierce. He caught
it! Oh, what a... Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Colts Cast. We are here to talk about everything and anything Indianapolis Colts. He is Jamal Lawrence, and I am Eric Smith, your co-host of the Colts Cast. Guys, everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. Of course, if you're on YouTube. Colts Nation, this is the best way to support us as it gets our video out to other passionate Colts fans like yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, it is completely free. Let's get right into it. Football is back. Week 1 in the NFL season begins tonight, actually. Tonight, with the Detroit Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Colts football, however, is officially back this Sunday as we open up at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
A really key matchup this is going to be, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's the most important one.
Gotta be, right? Divisional matchup. Can we start off 1-0 against the divisional favorite? That's a big question there. Or will we falter at home and continue our week 1 curse? Let's just discuss, Jamal. Jamal, come on. Where would you like to start?
Start off with, I think it's been since 2017 since the Jacksonville Jaguars have come into Indianapolis and won a game. So I like to start there by saying the Colts can, and will break the curse on Sunday. On Sunday. I know you say to yourself, well, Jacksonville may not have won there since 2017, but the Colts haven't won a season opener since 2013 or whatever the case is. It was so funny because they actually asked Shane Steichen that here in a press conference. I don't know if you saw that clip, Eric, and he had to play the dumb card. He said, "Oh no, I didn't know about that. Never heard of it." I'm like, come on. It's a talk in the building.
He just got here. He don't know anything about that curse. He
ain't worried about it because he knows about to break it. I think that's his thing. Like I said, Indianapolis Colts have a chance to come out here on Sunday at 1 p.m. and set the new standard for this organization moving forward. It's going to start at the top with Shane Steichen and then work its way down to Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. So I just think that we have all the tools that we need to make this a very competitive game. Now we have to do is put it together to get this W, Eric.
Yeah. And you know what I need to put together? This little scruff I got going right here.
Yeah, you and me both.
You know what? But real quick, this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Football season is back. And you know what that means. Touchdown dances, Sunday tailgates, and epic fantasy showdowns. But fellas, let's not forget the real MVP of the season. Introducing the all-new Beard Hedger Pro Kit by Manscaped, your ultimate luxury beard grooming experience. This kit is your secret weapon for staying sharp on and off the field. Don't fumble this opportunity. Head to manscaped.com and elevate your grooming game with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Join the 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. You heard that right. 9 million men or 109 MetLife stadiums. Whichever you choose. So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code COLTSCAST. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit is a grooming powerhouse built for precision and style, just like your favorite quarterback, Anthony Richardson. This kit tackles beard touch-ups effortlessly, ensuring you're always prepped for the next play. Plus, it has a compact design for easy portability. Take it everywhere I go. I don't travel a lot, but when I do, I'm taking my Beard Hedger Pro Kit with me. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code ColtsCast at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code ColtsCast. Your grass is not artificial. Keep it shaved with Manscaped. Yeah, Jamal, let's talk some facts real quick. So I think we are facing an uphill battle. Not an impossible one, but, we got to remember, we don't have Jonathan Taylor for 4 weeks. That's really going to have an impact. How severe is that impact? Varies depending on which Colts fan you're talking to. We got no Zach Moss as well. With that in mind, I would think our rushing game does take a step backwards just a little bit, just a tad. We have a rookie quarterback starting his first NFL game ever, and we got a new head coach stepping in, Shane Steichen. So it's not going to be easy, but if you guys have seen our last few pods, we got the Colts shocking the world. One thing I will say is we are relatively healthy going into this game. Aside from the running back group, have our starting wide receivers, got our offensive line, all our starters there. Most of our tight ends, Jelani Woods, not available, but on the defensive side, D-line is in check. Shaquille Leonard, officially active, going to be there Sunday. That's a big boost to our linebacker group and our defensive backs. While there's a lot of new faces back there, they are healthy, and we have our punter ready to go. I shouldn't have to say that, but we have our punter ready to go since returning from his Achilles injury.
Oh yeah.
So Jamal, I don't know. This is going to be a fun game, and the Jaguars should be on upset alert. Coming in Indianapolis, you know what we do to good teams in Indianapolis. We tear them down, and the mass media talks about us like, how did blah 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 XYZ lose to the Indianapolis Colts that game? Come on, man. I can see the headline now. I already see it. We're gonna start off 1-0, and I can't wait.
Yeah, you're right, dog. And like you said, I mean, we have so many people, and now that we have Shaq back, it makes me excited because I was thinking about the linebacker core, the group itself, and how they would need to be there stout to shut down Travis Etienne. I mean, we talked about a guy who averaged like 5.1 a carry last year for Jacksonville, so he's pretty solid. I feel like if we have every component to that linebacker group, which it sounds like we will have, it's going to shut that game down real quick and force Jacksonville to pass. Now, of course, it's going to put a little pressure on the cornerbacks for us, but the young group, man, them boys is quick. So, Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk. I mean, that's a solid wide receiving core. But I like what we got in our backfield, man. I like what we have at safety. I like what we have at the cornerback position, even though they're young, to come out here and set the standard. And not to mention, Eric, I mean, we haven't even talked about the pressure getting to the quarterback. We know what that defensive line has to come out here and do. I'm sure D Buck feels like he's due for a 10-sack season. I know that Ibukum, I hope I'm saying it right. I know we had a couple corrections that people told us in the last comment section, but guys like him, they're ready to come in and bring the pressure. We talked about Kwity Paye on our last episodes. These guys have to come in and bring the pressure. So I like our defensive attack that we have going against Jacksonville. Just because, like you mentioned, on the offensive side of the ball, it is a little shaky with the running back position, not having the consistency there and having a couple of our tight ends out. But the defensive side, less the cornerback group, which I think we can make up for that with some solid pressure on Trevor Lawrence and shutting down the run. I think that we're in a good position.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about some key players that you kind of brought up because I think we are in a good position. Like Calvin Ridley, like you talked about, this guy's been gone for a while. Now the Jaguars have a true wide receiver one, and I don't know if you guys probably haven't watched any football on him, but when he was with Atlanta, like there were rumblings like, yeah, this man different. Like he should be their wide receiver one there. I think Julio was still there at the time. But anyway, I think that makes their receiving core pretty superior to ours. Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram. That's a lot. That's a lot thrown at us, especially, like you said, this young cornerback group. They're going to get tested. Our linebackers in coverage are going to get tested. Our safeties are going to get tested. But we just need our cornerbacks to make some high IQ plays, in this zone defense so we can limit their success. It's Dallas Flowers and Darrell Baker Jr. on the outside. If you would have asked me this 4 weeks ago, I would have told you Dallas Flowers and Darrell Baker probably wouldn't be starting cornerbacks, but they showed out. They showed out in training camp. They showed out in preseason. They deserve those starting roles. We got Shaquille Leonard healthy, hopefully like real healthy, like all pro healthy. He's going to be able to help out in coverage. He's that talented linebacker that can do it all. That's what teams are looking for in these linebackers. You can't just be good on the run defense. Can't just be a good tackler. You got to be good in coverage. Got to pass heavy league, pass first league. And our safeties, Julian Blackmon and Rodney Thomas. Blackman's in a new role. Can he make an impact in the backfield? Can Rodney Thomas replicate what he did last season? He was a very big standout last season. Huge steal for us coming, 7th round out the draft. Then you got Trevor Lawrence, and I've always called Trevor Lawrence like the Indianapolis Colts kryptonite because he's absolutely he's wrecked us. And Doug Peterson said he's gotten even better since last season. I mean, we'll see, but that's scary times, man. That's something you don't want to hear. Like, he has it all: arm talent, athleticism, decision-making skills, everything, man. Like, he's got it all put together. Really going to be he could be a sneaky top 5 quarterback this year, but he destroys Indianapolis, at least last season. He threw for 400 yards, completed 87 point. So these are 2 games in 2 games. Threw for 400 yards. Not a lot in 2 games.
Yeah.
Completed 87.1% of his passes. That is an absurdly high completion rate to go along with 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions against us last season. So it sounds like we allowed a lot of easy completions. He didn't make any mistakes, and he didn't have to do it all by himself through the air. I mean, 200 yards averaged. Yeah, like you were talking about, Travis Etienne bulldozing us on the ground. I remember watching it last year. I sat there. I said, why can't we stop the run this game? I don't know. Something about Doug Peterson's offense. It's scary. We should be afraid of Lawrence in this team. He's really good. But in spite of that, we did take 1 at home last season against the Jaguars. We do have to remember that. I would say, how did we do it? For one, Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman both had amazing games. Matt Ryan had 389 yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions or fumbles. I repeat, no interceptions
in the back
or fumbles. 0.
The only game, right?
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, when you add in 3 touchdowns, 389 yards, no turnovers, I mean, that is the Matt Ryan we asked for when we got him. Michael Pittman led the way with 13 receptions, 134 yards. Incredible game from him. Alec Pierce had a game-sealing touchdown. Like, the offense did their thing, and they kept up clutch, especially at the end. Defense kept us in that game as well. Yeah, we gave up about 27 points, but our offense was firing back as well. We had 9 tackles for a loss to go along with 4 sacks. That's a great game from our defense.
Yeah.
Those tackles for a loss go a long way. Those sacks definitely go a long way. If we can have some big games from a few players, we can make this game interesting and end up winning again. Jamal, I don't know if you wanted to talk about the elephant in the room, Anthony Richardson.
I mean, I think it's clear that we are all ready for the AR show to take off. I mean, they just had the report that came out, or Sykin was saying that he was in the building for 8 hours. I think it was on the other day. Dude is ready. He's ready to be out there on the field, and I think that he's going to get tested very early on. If this were a non-divisional game, I like to think that maybe he would have a little more flack, from a defense. But the Jaguars know this game is just as important to them, obviously, as it is to us, for more reasons than one. So I think we're going to get a very stout team who's ready to come out there and execute and try to trick Richardson. But this is where Richardson's smarts are going to come into play. And then his athletic ability, obviously, is going to come into play. I want to see him, really make adjustments to this defense that's going to be thrown at him, because I can imagine that Jacksonville is going to have all kinds of stunts and changes coming at him just because they want to keep him on his toes. They want to see him lose his composure. But that's why I think Richardson is going to excel for us and really show what he's been doing in the lab inside of the building in that playbook. And then when it's necessary, I just know everybody's going to lose their mind when he takes off for that first big run, because I know he's going to have at least one big run in this game. I'm telling you right now, he's going to have, and they're going to lose his mind. They're going to lose their minds, or we, I should say, not even they. We are going to lose our mind when he runs out of the tunnel. But then once he gets on the field for the first play, I think it's going to be even more electric. So I really am looking forward to what Richardson's going to bring to the table. Again, I think he'll be tested, though. I think the defense will definitely be coming out him. We talk about 2 really good defensive ends that the Jaguars have. So Richardson will have to be ready for it. He will have to be ready for it. But I'll take my 255-pound quarterback that runs a 4.3 against those 2 guys any day of the week. So let's get it.
Yeah, that 4.43 or 4.41.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I said
something...
4.3. I gave him a little more.
Oh yeah, 4.3 at that size, he would have been taking 1 overall.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think his debut is going to shock people in one direction or another. If he performs exceptionally well, I think Colts fans will they will be demanding that we build a statue immediately outside of Lucas Oil Stadium. I guarantee that. If he plays poorly, Anthony Richardson haters are going to come out the woodworks and they'll be screaming from the top of their lungs into our ears saying, "I told you so," because, that's how you base a rookie quarterback who's had 13 college games under his belt. You base him off one NFL game. I don't think there'll be any in between, except from us, the rational fans who aren't prisoners of the moment. But we know what we drafted. We drafted a guy who would probably take some time to adjust to life in the NFL, probably. Yet the floor seems somewhat high for him, just from what we've seen. Like, given his physical profile, we saw the flashes in the preseason. We did. It made us go, "Oh, he built different." Like I said that at my TV screen. I was talking to my wife, "Yo, that guy is built different right there. Like, he really is. Oh, he can take off like that at 6'4", 250 pounds. Oh, that D ball is going to be a problem." I kept saying that to myself. There are just a lot of those "oh wow" moments personally. So the ceiling is sky high. Imagine if he goes Superman in this game. Like you said, Jamal, takes off for a huge run. I mean, we're gonna be jumping off our seats, but I'm just imagining, he could do that every game, basically. Like, he could. We'll see, though. He did in college. NFL's a different level. But, a good 200 plus passing yards from him, like a 60% completion rate, 80 yards on the ground, something that's a lot. Yeah, with no turnovers. Imagine that. That is mouth-watering stat line for Anthony Richardson for his debut against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I would say that would be fantastic for us. But, Matt Ryan kind of helped us win it against Jacksonville last season. I don't think it's necessary that Anthony Richardson has to throw for 400 for us to win. I think, we keep the game honest. I think Shane Steichen will do what we have to do on the ground. He'll take his big plays when necessary. And then our defense is going to keep us into the game. They're gonna give a rude awakening to Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville because our defense is underrated, and we've talked about it. So, I think this game stays pretty close, guys. Got one of the youngest teams in the NFL, and we seem primed to take that next step forward. So, Colts win 24-20.
24-20. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I was thinking 27-24. So, I can hover with that. I know that's a lot of points. 27 points is a lot of points for a Colts team.
24 is also a lot.
Yeah. But I think it can happen. I definitely think it can happen, man. You get the ball, you get the wheels going, get the ball going downfield. It can definitely happen. But Eric, the last thing I want to just cap off with, just about that, because when it comes to scoring, I know you mentioned a player that was one of the factors as to why we were able to win that game last year. And I'm not talking about Matt Ryan. You mentioned Michael Pittman Jr. I don't know if you saw this little clip from him. You may not have. I just saw it on Twitter a little earlier. They were asking him in the locker room, how does he feel about being a wide receiver one? What's his thoughts on wide receiver one? And this is, these are all just kind of cutouts there. These aren't all direct quotes. But he said, if I feel like a dominant receiver, I'd say yes. But then he also proceeded to say, I don't really like the term number one because I've got teammates who are very good players. So he basically is saying that he wants everyone on the team all receivers to him are receiver one. There is no true receiver one. I just wanted to know what are your thoughts on that, Eric? What are your thoughts? To me, I'm gonna be straight up with Colts Nation. That's what a number 2 wide receiver would answer. They will say everybody's number one. That's not a true number one receiver. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. But I want to know what your thoughts are, Eric.
Man. Oh, do I plead the fifth?
Oh, you can't plead the fifth in that one. It came out the horse's mouth, man. I was a little shocked when I heard.
He's being a little modest.
Yes.
I can't blame him. I think he's heard what everyone's saying about him, that he's not a wide receiver one. He hasn't proven it. Yeah, I think that's what he should say. Just because if he got very braggy and arrogant, we would be saying something else. I feel like we'd be reacting a little differently and saying, wow, Michael Pittman is self-proclaiming he's a wide receiver one. I think we'd feel a little differently, and then we'd also view it like the expectations would be higher. We view him differently. Sure. Any mistake he made, we're coming at him. Michael Pittman, I don't know if he has all of the tools there to be a wide receiver one. Now, I can be proven wrong. I've seen him many times where I've been wrong in the past about a wide receiver. So, he could be like I think his ceiling is like a Larry Fitzgerald. He's supposed to have good hands, not the fastest guy, but a reliable receiver. That and Larry Fitzgerald is a wide receiver one. So he could get there, but when you think about like, does he have the speed? Does he have like downfield threat? Like a lot of these wide receiver ones we think of. At least with Matt Ryan last season, I didn't really see it. So gotta show me this season. I mean, this is his contract extension year, so it's all up to him.
I just wanted to put you on the spot with it because I saw. That's all. Yeah, good answer. I fully agree with you. Like you said, if it would have been the opposite, if you'd have said he was wide receiver one, then we'd have been sitting. I'll probably have opened the show with that because I'd have been like, let's go ahead and address this elephant about him calling himself wide receiver one. But no. So yeah, I just wanted to let Colts Nation hear your thoughts on that. But now that's all I got for today, man. I'm excited for the game. That's all I'm ready for. Game tonight and then game on Sunday.
This is. Oh, we're getting to the best times of the year. I mean, college football started. NFL is starting tonight. You might not be basketball fans, but you got NBA coming up and college basketball coming up in a month. And then you got MLB playoffs. There's a lot going on in the sports world. I'm super excited. Oh, yeah. Very, 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 very excited for this Colts Jaguars game. Let's get it, Colts Nation.
Let's get it.
It's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts Cast today. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content. Y'all take care.
Take care. See you at the game on Sunday.